This was a video that I've been planning to do for a long time, but all these new things kept coming out, so I couldn't get over there. Ironically, yesterday we did Jersey Mike's, and today I wanted to do this sandwich place that was super popular when I was a kid. It's called Blimpie, and it's a chain. I know that it was all over New Jersey, but I'm not sure how far across the nation that it went. But Blimpie was like the place that was really the poppin' sandwich chain in the 90s and the early 2000s. And all of a sudden, they just started to disappear. And there's still a couple left around here. So I found some, and I went and got the 3 different sandwiches and a cookie thing. You could probably see with my facial expressions that it really don't look like the old Blimpie. The first thing that you're going to notice, even though this is a chain, nothing has branding on it. But I got 3 different sandwiches, and we're going to try it out and see either what the hell happened to Blimpie or if it's still good. But again, I ate Blimpie almost every other day, all the way in high school. There was a Blimpie next to my high school that I went to all the time. And let's just try this out, man. Got 3 different sandwiches. So this first sandwich here is supposed to be their trademark. It's called the Blimp. And wow, that's a lot of oil and vinegar. Oh, they got branding on this. Okay, we do got some branding. Thank goodness, because I wasn't sure about the outside. I didn't notice this wrapping paper when they were making the sandwich, but this is a turkey, roast beef, salami, pepperoni, provolone, sweet peppers, tomatoes, and then you can put whatever you want in it. So I have oil, vinegar, mayo, and oregano. Their bread almost feels like ciabatta bread when I kind of mess with it a little bit, but all right, let's try the sandwich out. The one I went to was in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. I also saw that they had a few others in Passaic and Clifton, New Jersey. And I said it had no branding, but at least this has branding, which is a good thing. But let's try this sandwich out. They do give you a lot of meat. This isn't double meat or anything, and this came out to $11.99, so it's pretty damn expensive. But, you know, we're just trying these out. This is like Jersey Mike's prices. Hey. That's not a bad sandwich. It's not. It's not a bad sandwich. Again, the first thing I noticed, a ton of cold cuts in here. You know, you got the turkey, pepperoni, salami, prosciutto. There's a ton. Roast beef. And they're decent cold cuts. Provolone, you get 2 slices of it. Also got a bag of these Doritos Dinamita, the extra flaming hot. Let's get in here. Off the first couple of bites. Now, I don't know the rest of these sandwiches and what they're going to be like, but this is better than Subway. I can tell you that emphatically. Would I say it's better than Jersey Mike's? No, but the bread is decent, and there's really not much to complain about. It's comparable to a decent deli in New Jersey. Keyword, decent. Get you in here with a Dorito stick. As far as the sandwich goes, I wouldn't be mad if you gave this to me. My only true complaint, they're charging the same as Jersey Mike's. And Jersey Mike's is a better sandwich than this. They're just better cold cuts and better overall ingredients. But if they told me this sandwich was like Subway prices, which for a 6-inch of this would give you, you know, $8, something like that, I'd definitely go over Subway. I'd still go here over Subway at $11.99. And a good amount of sweetness coming from that sweet pepper to contrast with all the cold cuts. It's not bad. This is actually, to me, slightly better than Wawa. I'm in shock. You could see my face walking into this. That's why you got to try everything. On a chain scale, I'd give this an 8. Comparing this to any deli, like a 6, which is still good in New Jersey. So, not mad at this. Next up, I went with a hot sub. One of my favorite things to get at chain sub places, which is the meatball sandwich. Looking at the prices on this, I think the Blimp was one of their specialty subs because that is $11.99. This is $8.99, and it looks very comparable to what you get from like a lot of these chain sub places. Let me try to open one of these up and see what's on the inside. So you get 4 meatballs, 4.5, and it doesn't look like, oh, there is some melted provolone in there as well. There's supposed to be some Parmesan. I don't see it, but maybe I'll be able to taste it. That same ciabatta bread as well. They have pretty decent bread. I'm admittedly a meatball sub guy, so let's see where this stacks up against the rest of them. They must get all the same meatballs from the same places. The difference between this and a Wawa or a Subway, Jersey Mike's doesn't serve meatball subs. Their bread makes it better than Subway, but not as good as Wawa. Their sauce, I'm not going to tell you it's a great sauce. I mean, look, we're at a damn chain sub place. It tastes like Chef Boyardee. But they all kind of taste like Chef Boyardee, if you ask me. To me, the best chain sub place, as far as meatball subs, Firehouse subs. But this is decent really because the bread isn't, like, hard or crusty at all. I would eat it, but that's definitely not a go out of your way to get it. On a chain scale, I would say it's slightly above average and give it a 5.5 out of 10. And we'll do it for humor you. Comparing this to a regular deli, I would never go back to that deli again, and I'd give it a 3 out of 10. But when we're talking chains, it's not bad. I'm actually shocked because I thought it was going to be an absolute trash. It's not. It's not bad. It's not great. But it's not bad either. This was a complete wild card. This was more because I got tuna yesterday, and it kind of got me thinking. We were talking on our Twitch stream yesterday about different tuna sandwiches. So I said, you know what, let's just try the tuna at this place. So they have a tuna melt. So you can see I got the cheese on here as well. And it's just tuna, what looks like either celery or onion, tomato, and cheese. That's pretty much it. Fun fact that maybe some of you might care about when it comes to tuna, specifically tuna melts. In college, my broke college kid days, I used to have this toaster oven. I used to make tuna melts all the time. So I actually kind of do like them. I have a weird thing with other people's tuna, which I said in yesterday's video, but we're just trying these to see because I'm just, we're going to face our fears, man. We're going to do it. So I don't see any other things in their tuna besides tuna and mayo, by the way. They make tuna the way I like it. It's not like soggy as hell and dripping with mayonnaise. It still has some texture on it. There's not much else going on in the tuna, so I'm not going to, it's not like super flavorful. But the fact that I got a tuna melt at least makes it palatable because there's cheese, tomato, oil, vinegar on this. I like this better than any tuna sandwich I've had from any of these places so far. Blimpie. There's only like 2 of you left, but I also like that pungent, sharp bite from the onion. Yeah, not bad. Again, I'm still not ordering tuna as my first choice, especially not at the price of $10 for this. This is not a $10 sandwich. Again, $7, $8, I wouldn't be mad at it. Yes, those $2 matter. I think you saw my face immediately when I had the Jersey Mike's one. Couldn't really bite it that much, but you can just tell by looking at this thing. Like, it's put together much better. It's not sloppy tuna at all. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this so far, I think I'm just going to go try the tuna at all these places. Maybe not Subway. Should I do Subway? Let me know in the comments. Please say no. But so far, it's the best one I've had. Apparently, this is one of their most popular subs, their signature tuna. I can see why. I'm not mad at it. I'm really not mad at Blimpie. I don't think this is bad. On a chain scale, again, I'm never going to rank tuna that high, but I'd give this a 7.5. Like, seriously, really. When you make tuna, please don't drown it in mayo, where it's like just mayo dripping out. I don't like that, personally. You want to make it like that, I take that back. Make it how you want to. Finally, I wanted to show you this as well. We got the cookie. You know, Subway probably has the best cookies, and everybody loves those cookies. This is $1.29, and this is what comes out. Chocolate chunk is the only flavor that they had, so this is all we got. Decent cookie. Again, I'm sure that this comes from some sort of pre-baked or dough that's already done, but you can see it's baked perfectly. It's not as good as Subway, but it's pretty comparable. $1.29. Most of y'all know what Subway cookies cost, so I won't even get into that, but it's decent. It's decent. I don't get it. I wouldn't be mad at this. Solid 8. Wouldn't throw this out of my car type of cookie. So genuinely speaking, I don't know why Blimpie fell off to the point that it's not what it used to be. I say this again. Growing up in the 90s, there were way more Blimpies around here. Almost how, Subway is everywhere. There were Blimpie everywhere back then. Almost in every town. And we ate Blimpie a fair amount. So, I don't necessarily think there's this massive drop-off in quality compared to other sub-chains. Maybe they just have bad marketing. Maybe they just lost money. Hold on a second. So I won't go too into detail, but I actually did about a 5-minute deep dive where I went through different articles and just give you a brief overview. What it looks like is what happens with a lot of businesses. In the 90s, they had over 1,000 locations. As of now, they have about 150, I believe 156. And somewhere in the 90s, they went from a privately owned place, started selling their rights to sub-franchisers, and they had so many hands in the pot that the quality of it really dropped off a cliff in a lot of locations. I'm doing like a podcast here, but I have to tell you this. It's very important because I'm like, what the hell? As that happened, they had a ton of different sub-franchisers. So what that means is more or less, one person may own about 40 Blimpie, and then another person may own 100 Blimpie. The quality started to go all over the place. Their consistency fell off of a cliff, and then they started to sell even more to the point that most of these are only 1 or 2 one-off franchises. They're not centrally owned, but going public really kind of changed what it was. Like I said, and I'm going to give you a direct quote from here, by the beginning of 1992, there were Blimpie restaurants in 27 states. That year passed the 500 unit mark and changed its name to Blimpie International. But then in 1993, they began trading their stock on the exchange. They went public. And that's when things kind of went to crap. So this is more of a business problem than anything. What that means, in my opinion, is that when you have centrally owned franchises like a Chick-fil-A, where they may sell you, but they have a lot of quality control, so that's why you have consistency. If I go to a Blimpie in another town, it may fall off a cliff to the point that it is absolute garbage. And that's where franchises start to kind of decline a little bit more. So this is a business problem. This is a money problem. Yeah. Quiznos had similar problems. If you're familiar with that subchain, there are none near me. There were a ton when I was a kid, but it was business practices that doomed that franchise as well. So this is more of a cautionary tale of what you can do to ruin businesses outside of messing with the quality of your food. Too many hands in the cookie jar really will mess up your consistency. Another franchise that comes to mind with that is one of my favorite franchises because of my location, and that's Papa John's. A lot of different sub-franchises at this point, and it had screwed with the quality, which is why I agree with people when they say they don't like it. Because if you go to one in another place, it may not taste the same. But this was almost like an educational type of video for me. I really wanted to know what the hell happened to this place. And I honestly, if I'm in that area, I wouldn't mind getting this again, which is a complete shock to me. I thought it was just a place that like Boston Market, where it just fell off a cliff. That isn't the case with this place. So let that be a lesson to us. Sometimes going public and money can really ruin a franchise. But I thought this was fun. I really wanted to try this, and I'm glad that I did. I don't think it's bad. And one of the best tuna places I've seen. That's nuts. But anyway, I appreciate y'all, man, and we'll be back tomorrow. More content, man. Hand signs. They made it to YouTube.